We've got a fun one today. What's really going on with Arch Manning? I've got a lot to share. Plus, our good friend Stanford Steve joins Stevie Boy and I to preview and pick another juicy slate of games. It's week 4 in college football and just 217 days until the NFL draft. Muench, you good?
I'm great.
Let's roll it. This is the McShay Show, presented by FanDuel, and college football Saturdays are already delivering. Every game means something right now. Rankings shift, upsets hit, and the best place to stay on top of it all? FanDuel. Whether you're riding a noon kickoff or betting the late games, FanDuel lets you bet it your way. Same game parlays, live betting, player props, alt lines, whatever your angle is, it lives in the app. So if you're watching the action, bet on it with FanDuel. So download the app or head to FanDuel.com/McShay and make every Saturday count. The Ringer is committed to responsible gaming. Please visit rg-help.com to learn more about the resources and helplines available. And listen to the end of the episode for additional details. Must be 21 and older and present in select states, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. We got a lot to get to today, Muench.
Sure do.
You excited?
I am. I'm not excited about this first part. I'm very excited about the second part.
Well,
but I am interested to hear. I'm interested to hear what you have to say about Arch. It's worth talking about.
The second part's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we get a juicy slate as
dessert.
As I said. Yes. So we got to get through our vegetables to get to our dessert.
Right.
Steve Coughlin, better known as Stanford Steve, joining our show. Good friend of the show. I mean, the three of us are on a text thread that is never ending, and I love it. He's obviously got some insight. He's coming off of an awesome primetime game. He's got another one this week. I believe he's at Florida, Miami, and
I think that's right. Yep.
Yeah, and so we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to some housekeeping later. I get asked a lot, Steve, right, about Arch Manning. And I see a lot of people out there just throwing takes. And you know what that does to my Irish blood, right? And so I took some time. They're playing Sam Houston State, Texas is this week. This is not like a big week to preview. We're not breaking down the tape to get ready for a big and following Sam Houston State. Yeah, you would think I would do this exercise, if you will, leading up to a 2-week stretch where they've got Florida and Oklahoma back to back. But I chose now because there's been a lot of narratives, if you will, about Arch. And so I went back and I studied it. And I want to start with this. I will not be persuaded and I will not have any biases due to relationships with the Mannings or time spent at the Manning camp or anything else. When you collect this kind of money, when you are, a Manning, more importantly, when you're a starting quarterback at Texas, you get the same treatment as everybody else. And that's what I think everyone would prefer, right? So let's just be honest about things. Arch is completing 55% of his passes this year. That's second worst in the SEC, and he's got an offensive coordinator who is a head coach in Steve Sarkisian, who is one of the brilliant offensive minds in all of college football. He's got weapons, right? He's got Wingo. He's got Livingstone, who's stepped up and emerged. He's got injuries at tight end. He's got Moore Jr., who's a draft prospect. There's weapons around him, okay? Completing 55%, second worst in the SEC. What's more damning is when you look at throws that pass the line of scrimmage. I'm not talking 5 or 10 yards pass. I'm talking like cross the line of scrimmage. He's completing a frightening 46% of his throws. So something's wrong, right? And we all know it. But I just wanted to start with that. Like, this isn't, oh, he doesn't look as good as expected. He's not playing to the level, or we thought he was Heisman. We thought first overall pick, all that stuff. He's just not playing to the level of a starting quarterback in the SEC, let alone at Texas with that cast. Okay. So I went back and I studied the Ohio State tape, which I think everyone in the world studied, right? Or at least watched that game. Anyone who has any pulse on college football watched that game. And we saw a defense in Ohio State that's loaded with talent. We saw a defense in Ohio State with a new coordinator, Matt Patricia, that threw a lot of stuff at him. And so that was the jumping off point. And I think there was a residual effect. Okay. I wanted to see against lesser competition games where he should be completing 70, 73%. Offense should be humming, should have been a quick bounce back. It wasn't necessarily. And I wanted to see, okay, what's going on here? Because these are games they should roll in. Things should be like, it should have been, it was a bump in the road. Arch is back. Yeah, it's not great competition. He's playing great, right? Confidence is building. We got one more against Sam Houston State. Then we start the stretch run with Florida and Oklahoma and beyond, right? Not the case. As is always, and you can attest to this, Steve, as is always the case when you go watch tape on whether it's an individual, a unit, a team, there's a narrative that's in your mind. There's what you see when watching games on Saturday. And then when you go and watch the coach copy tape with this, the all 22 and then the tight version, I find I always, and I know you and I've talked about this ad nauseum, you always come away with a couple things. One is it's a little different than what I expected based off of what I watched, just watching the game. And two is it's never just one thing, right? It really is. It's never just like, you go into this and you're like, is it because he's sidearming? Is it his shoulder that people are talking about? Is it, he's doing the Mahomes thing? There's a myriad of things that are happening, and you see a lot of different things, and not some of them don't add up with others and with others and with others. So that I can't.
And you didn't even get into receivers being in the right places, receivers consistently catching the ball. You didn't even get into the other mitigating factors that surround whether or not a quarterback can be accurate.
Right. And I will get to a little bit of that here, and just bear with me. But if I were to say, after getting done studying every single play, both games, after watching the Ohio State tape, there is an overarching situation that I am convinced is causing the majority or a high percentage or whatever you want to say. It's causing a lot of the problems. I truly believe first and foremost, Arch is pressing.
Couldn't agree more.
He's a Manning, had all the support in the world. He's got the uncles, Eli and Peyton. He's got the grandfather in Archie. He's been around ball his whole life, all those things. He's been prepared for this moment. We talked about that all summer long, prepared for this moment, playing, talking down all the hype, kind of, tongue in cheek with reporters, handling himself beautifully. But he's a human being, and he's not a fully, me at 19, 20, even 21 is not the fully formed version of Todd McShay. He's not, it's a lot to take on. He is an economy in Austin, Texas. He is an economy in the SEC. He's an economy in college football. He's a Manning on top of all those things. It's one thing to be John Mateer, Garrett Nussmeier. It's another to be Manning at Texas with all that hype. It was Heisman. It was number one overall, 2026 draft or 2027 draft. These are human elements that are real, okay? Mm-hmm. So no matter how prepared you are, when you're at his age, it's going to affect you in some way. I know this, okay? The Manning camp would agree. There's been a pressing, there's been trying to live up to that expectation. And you try to ignore it, and you try to put it in the back of your head, and you try to do all the things, the right things, and you know that you grew up in the right place, but he's pressing, period. because he wants to live up to these expectations. He knows what's expected of him. He knows what the path looks like. So, and the game is too, and why do I say all those things? Because I'm watching a quarterback on tape, take the name off of the back of his jersey, take the helmet, the sticker, take the school. It doesn't matter if I'm watching someone from Sam Houston State or Alcorn State. When you sit down and you watch tape, as you and I do, you're just watching the player, each play, mechanics, play design, coverages, all those things. This is a quarterback, regardless of name, that the game is moving too fast. And what is happening to him, and I do think what happened against Ohio State was a punch in the face. And I think he's in round 2 and round 3, and he's still trying to shake off some of the blows that he took in that game. I swear to you. Because he's seeing ghosts at times. When he's got protection up front, he's in the pocket and he's rushing his process. I don't see it when I watch the PGA Tour in the highest level. And even if I saw it, I wouldn't be able to recognize it because I'm not an analyst who's immersed in that world. But I know when I go swing a golf club, when I'm relaxed, man, had a good day, no one at home's calling about when I'm going to be home. Kids are good. Grades are good. Getting along with their friends. They're being kind. I go out and I play free and swing free, and it all like the hips and the hands. It's all loose. And that's the word I've used in talking to people around that are in this camp and around. Like, I just don't see a young man who's playing free and loose. And it's hard to play free and loose when you're carrying all of that weight of expectation on your shoulders. And so when you're just watching him on the tape, I'm seeing a guy that's rushing throws. Frequently, I'm seeing rushing when he doesn't need to rush. Frequently, I'm seeing that his hips and his hands aren't working in the same unison, like that golf swing I'm talking about. I'm seeing him dropping his arm, shot putting, and that's what's led. And I know the wincing on tape. People say, I can tell you right now, I'm not being lied to, and I'm told, like, it's not a shoulder issue. So let's just, okay?
Good.
Which was confirmed. So, like, I can share that. It's the mind working too fast and this tense, it's swing and jerk. It's trying to get the ball out too quick. Even the short game, some of the throws aren't as accurate as they should be. And I think I see his throws, and I went back and I studied the tape from last year too.
Right.
Small catalog, but he was playing. He came in situations. There was more juice on the ball. It was tying everything, and now it's almost like there's some throws where it's short arming it. It's just getting it out, because his mind is like, I got to get it there. But so much going on. And I think Matt Patricia sped things up. And I don't know that he's been able, like you ever have a car engine that's revving too fast and it was like,
takes a minute to cool down.
He's got to get the engine revving back down.
So
and I'm not saying it's just Ohio State. I'm saying it's all the things, all the factors. I'm watching a quarterback. That, to me, like, his mind is going faster than his body can keep up with. That's the overarching, the global for me. Go ahead.
Okay. So I agree with everything you're saying. I see the same things. I
just do want to preface this with, there are now, like, we're done with our conversation. I then want to get into some specifics that are
correct,
that are byproducts of what I just told you, but also are that are separate entities to the mind moving too fast and pressing.
I think we agree this is the underlying issue, though, right? I mean, yes. I think okay. So if that's the underlying issue, right? And I don't have the answer, and I'm not paid to have this answer. I think it's a tough thing to solve. Tomorrow morning he wakes up, he's still Arch Manning. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow morning he's still the starting quarterback for a Texas team that still has national championship aspirations.
No doubt.
All of that stays the same. He still lives in Austin. It's still the same kind of attention. None of the pressures. You can't. There's no release valve here, my man. There's nothing, we can't come in and say, you know what, don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about this or that or whatever. The pressure's staying the same. It's not going away. So how do you handle this? What's the solution to getting a very talented young man to understand that he doesn't have to carry that all around with him, that he just needs to work on playing quarterback and executing? What do you do? What does Sarkisian do? Do you have an answer? I don't have an answer. I'll be honest with you. I mean, that's above my pay grade, to be honest with you. I don't know how you get this kid to just relax, do what you've been taught to do your entire life, go out, do your thing, play football.
I don't know. I know it takes a lot of care from people around you. I know it takes a lot of good support and you got to lean on it. And I don't want to get like sappy. I don't know if there's a sports psychologist involved. Certainly there's all the support in the world for him in his circle. And he has access to things that maybe some other quarterbacks, certainly pre-NIL. I don't know.
You make a good point, though. He has to take advantage of it. And sometimes, I know when I was young, it was, I've got stubborn. This. I don't want to acknowledge that there's a problem. If I go to you and say I need help, then I'm acknowledging that there's a problem. I'm trying to avoid that.
There's the football part, and then there's the personal part, right?
Right. Yes.
Like the football part
is a human being.
You see Sark, like there were periods of time, and I'll get to the kind of specifics, and I only want to go maybe 10 more minutes on this, but max. But there are times where Sark is very clearly trying to take that pressure off of him.
Right.
Right. He's trying to, whether it's short passing games, screens, there are times
play calling, play design, all of that.
So there's the football part of it, and then there's the personal part of it, which like we can speak to if we want, but it's kind of useless, and I don't want to bore our audience with.
It's true.
But there's some personal stuff that he's going to have to kind of, in order to get his mind back where the engine's not revving too fast and everything is in sync, right? But I do want to get like in transition to, it's on Arch to slow this process down. And as you just aptly said, like we don't have that answer for him, but hopefully people in his circle and he can look within himself and he can figure that out. But as is always the case, as I said, there's a myriad of things that are going on, right? I want to start with this, that San Jose State, the game after Ohio State. Like, he was pretty damn good for a long stretch in that game. Okay? And so was Texas's offense as a whole. I think that's important to mention. It was 28-7 midway through the second quarter against San Jose State. And yes, it's San Jose State. I hear you. I'm not making excuses. I'm reporting back what the tape is telling me. That's the only thing I can do here. And the information I'm getting from people who know. Okay.
Yeah.
Arch would have been 10 for 13 if it wasn't for a holding call that brought a deep completion down the right rail back. He's still at that point up 28-7, was 9 for 12 with 3 touchdown passes. Things were rolling, man. Then he kind of hit some bumps in the road and kind of up and down. Didn't finish great, but it was like, it was fine. You know what I mean?
Progress. It was progress.
It was progress. You felt like we're getting there, and then it kind of just like sputtered out, but it was definitely progress from the first game, and you felt like, all right, here we're building. He's going to be just fine. Things were off from the jump against UTEP, man. And I know you watched that. They were off from the jump. Sark came into that game like, and I'm sure he's got a football team. It's not just 16. He's got a whole football team and a season that he's looking ahead to where he's got to get some answers about what are we capable of doing when we need to do it in the biggest games versus the toughest opponents. And Sark came in, man, like, we're going to establish the run, and we are going to be Texas, and I need my offensive line to understand that there are times in this season where we have got to line up, run the football, and we've got to dominate. So they came out, and they were pounding it early.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to establish 16 of the first 20 plays, and I didn't go off of stats. I was just off of my tape, so maybe there was a penalty. Maybe it doesn't exactly line up. But 16 of the first 20 plays were runs. One of them was not a designed run. It was a drop back where Arch ran. So you're talking 3/4 of the plays, the first 20 plays run, were designed runs. Arch didn't get into a rhythm early. Now, I'm not putting any of this on Sark, man. Sark's working his ass off. Sark knows what he's doing. Sark's got a team to work. I'm just saying, then when they started to throw the ball, Arch didn't look settled in, right?
Right.
But if I had to summarize and give kind of some bullet points beyond just the pressing and the pressure and like the mind working faster than the body, I want to mention a few things. Number one, there's a serious Manning Wingo issue going on. And I'm not talking personal. And here's the here's the fascinating part. It's like, it's just a glitch. There's a Manning Wingo glitch going on. And sometimes it's Manning. Sometimes it's Wingo. Some of the issues are timing between the two. A couple are miscommunications. Wingo on that stop route should have been an out. He stops down. The cornerback has inside leverage. Arch is expecting him when the corner has inside leverage, instead of running a stop, like it was like 10 back to 8, something like that. You got to kind of peel it towards the sideline, right? Mm-hmm. Wingo doesn't. Ball's outside, incompletion. Little things, right? Couple flat out drops. Can I just give a suggestion to Sark?
Here we go.
Hey, Sark, let's put a plug in the dig route to Wingo for a minute. Just for a minute. Let's get Manning and Wingo back, because the two worst drops I've seen of Wingo's short career are that left side of formation, working the dig route from left to right, back inside. Yeah. If anyone that doesn't know it, dig route, basically you run down the top of your stem, top of your route, and then you, like if you run an out route, you cut out. If you run a post, you kind of angle. If you run a corner, you angle to the outside. But a dig route is like an old 6 route, right? And then sharp breaking in. This dig route, it just ain't working. And it ain't working. Like Wingo had 2 drops, and two of Manning's worst throws, just like killing worms in the dirt. But again, it's timing issues, it's errant throws from Manning, it's drops from Wingo, and it's miscommunications. Like those 4 things, like they have got to get on the same page, because when he catches the ball, Steve.
Oh my God.
Oh, like that screen he caught in the last game. Like late in the game, they're like, oh, fuck it. We're not running intermediate deep routes. Like, let's just get him the ball in his hands and let him eat a little bit. He catches it. And he's like, what, 6'2"? He's a big, just shot. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's Texas. Like, that's explosive ball right there. So they got to work that out. That's a big thing.
He's an elite talent.
But I wish it was one thing. I wish it was they're just not on the same page. I wish it's like 4 different things between those two. Number 2, both interception. This goes back to the pressure. Both interceptions were Arch trying to do something that he could do in high school that he can't do in college. And I know he hasn't been a full-time starter before this year, but he's played in just enough ball, and he's been around this game since he was birthed, to not make the 2 interceptions that he's thrown in the last 2 games. They are just him frustrated, trying to do too much. I'm Arch Manning. I'm supposed to be winning Heisman. I'm supposed to be the number 1 overall pick. I can fix this. You got to cut that out. Because if he's doing it against San Jose State and UTEP, it's frightening to think about him trying to do, the UTEP one was rolling left, runs back to the right, does a great job of extending, and then it's like, no.
And I know it's 4th down.
And then the one we talked about, the San Jose State one, he's like in the grasp, but it was a free rush. Just take the sack, or I think he tried to get it out of bounds, or maybe I don't know. So those are like, I know that Sark's like drilling that home in him. Number 3, sloppy feet. And please check out like if you're interested at all in like quarterback dynamics and what we're talking about today, and Arch, and even just quarterbacks in general. Working on a really cool piece with a lot of video support for the McShay Report. And you can Google it if you don't subscribe. You can subscribe for free, and then there's a premium as well if you want to become a premium member. And we appreciate everyone who has and the continued support that we're getting. But it's the McShay Report. That'll be out. That's out now, actually. It came out just a little bit ago this morning, as with this podcast. But the sloppy feet, it's. I was expecting, quite honestly, it was going to be like vast majority of that. It's still too often. And again, it goes back to, like, I just think there are throws. There's a handful of throws, not enough, a handful of throws where he actually looks free, confident, like deliberate, feet underneath him, base. There was one where he play action to the left and he worked his way back. You could actually, from the tight version, the end zone copy of the cameraman back there, right? You could actually see his helmet go, which tells you his eyes are going left to middle to right with his reads, right? And with it came his feet. That hasn't happened a lot. But
the glimpses are great.
Yeah.
Glimpses of it. Yeah.
He drills a throw to Moore Jr. to a touch high, but like led him to the sideline, perfect ball. And I'm like, that's it. Let's bottle that up, Arch, But then there are others where it's just, even when he doesn't have a reason to rush the throw, he's just not bringing his feet around. He's not tying it all together. It's stuff I know he knows how to do because I still see him doing it, and I've seen him in the past do it. And then honestly, there's some throws, and it's not a huge catalog of it. It's a few. I just don't like the one he overshot Livingstone off the play action, one-on-one down the middle, kind of crossing over. I just didn't think he had a lot of conviction in that throw. I think he, like, in addition to those other problems I'm talking about, I think there's been a couple occasions where he just looks like a quarterback who's not super confident in what he's doing.
Right. It goes back to it.
And so I did like the way he finished the San Jose State game. He had a couple nice throws there. He hit Wingo on a dig route. Holy shit. He hit Wingo on a dig route. It was play 79. A few plays earlier, he threw with conviction. Wasn't a hard throw, but it was that touchdown pass where he knew he had to get it low into the outside, and he drilled it. You could tell when the ball hit the receiver's hands for a touchdown, you could see his demeanor change. He's like, yep. Just got to get him there.
Got to get him rolling.
Too much talent, too much support, too many good players at Texas, too good of a coach with Sark. I've got to believe he's going to get there, but right now, as it stands, like, it's absolutely concerning. And the only person who's going to be able to solve it is Arch himself with the support that he has around him.
Agree.
All right. Any other comments?
I'm good. I thought that was well put.
Those are our vegetables. Now we got dessert.
I can't wait for dessert. Yep. I'm excited.
Stanford Steve's joining us right now. The McShay Show is brought to you by FanDuel. Ready to fire up your Saturdays? FanDuel's got a boost you don't want to miss. It's called Boostin' with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. So here's how it works. Each week, we're giving everyone a profit boost to use on college football. No opt-in gymnastics, no invite-only nonsense. Everyone gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays, with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/McShay to download the app, check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer, and get in on the action. Must be 21 and older and present in select states, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. This episode is brought to you by Duluth Trading Company. Ready to give rival tailgates the foam finger? Duluth Trading Company crafts Hall of Fame game day gear to help you grill hotter, cheer louder, and tailgate longer. Trust me, like, I'm a scene at the grill. I know what this is all about. They've got bibs loaded with pockets, gusseted pants so you can crouch without snuffing out your coals, and free swinging shirts tailor-made for beanbag tossing, or some like to call it cornhole. Stay comfortable from preseason to playoffs in the toughest tailgate attire around. Only at Duluth Trading Company. Stanford Steve, getting hydrated.
Trying, fellas. Good to see you.
Hey, show me what shirt. Show me what shirt you're wearing. What's
Come on.
Yes, spiders.
For the kids. For the kids.
I love it. I love it. You know how to make us happy.
Hey, real quick, I was listening to you guys. I'm not sure, who does Muench hate more, Penn State or LSU?
Wow, here we go.
Ooh.
It's I'll be honest with you, it's definitely Penn State, and I don't love Clemson either.
Shots fired.
By the way, about 10 minutes after I went on that rant, Brian Kelly comes out and apologizes. So
yeah,
look at that.
It's Penn State globally for him. It was Brian Kelly last week, I think.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
We're good. We're good, man. We're in it. Incredible last weekend. It's been a while since I was in Knoxville, and I said on
how great is that place when it's right?
Todd, just give you a timeline here. The last time I was there, Game Day Radio, Rosillo, I think it was the year you were gone. Will Muschamp's coaching Florida, and Derek Dooley was coaching Tennessee.
Oh, man.
Like that, I forgot how good Neyland is. Like, it's above Penn State. It is.
Oh, yeah.
I put it 2. I put it 2 behind LSU. I really do.
Yeah, I can see that.
It is, and the fans were just tremendous. They know they're on the cusp. I said on game day that morning, I said, last year I was in Athens, Tennessee. It's about matching the physicality of Georgia when you play them. You know that. And last year in Athens, Tennessee did it for 30 minutes. They had to do it for 60. They did. They were right there. And I think it says a lot about where Tennessee is going from talking to the fans there last weekend and really being unsure with this whole quarterback dynamic. But I go back to this. Only a Kirby Smart coach team wins that game.
Yes.
Right. And like watching them on the sidelines, and it is absolute chaos. You've been there. The noise, the momentum swings, freaking Rocky Top just blaring.
I know. You can't get it out of your head for like 3 nights of sleep.
I still haven't gotten out.
Yeah.
And it's not crazy Kirby. He's going over there. The visor wasn't flapping or nothing.
No,
it's going over. And you could tell.
It's like roll up your sleeves, Kirby.
They were getting spread all the way, getting killed with the mesh and the run underneath and all the split zone stuff. And he was just like, all right, we're going to come over and do this. His corner's getting beat like a drum. All right, let's put another kid in. He gets beat for a touchdown.
It might just be Brazel.
Yeah. I saw the breakdown. So I got you. Slow down.
No, I can't.
Randy Moss. See, this is what happens. You're staying at home now, and you got the clicker. You're not at one. You're just falling in love.
I'm dangerous now. Oh yeah.
You're swiping right on everybody on the dating apps. We got to get you out. We got to get you out.
I don't know, man. I like being dangerous from home. All right, we got a slate, man, and I know you. You got things to do. You got travel to
wherever you guys want to go. I'm fired up. We got it now. The Big Ten's done with their BS. We're in it, man.
We are. And I want to start in the Big 12 though first. You mind?
Yeah.
I want to go kind of chronologically through Saturday because it's an awesome slate. There's 5 games I want to get to. There's actually more, but it's kind of juicy, man. And this to me is a prove it game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Texas Tech, the Matador Club, just got all that oil money together. I think it was 22 JUCO guys they brought in. Mm-hmm. It's off to a fast start, 3-0, and now you got Utah. I think everyone who actually really watches college football and really cares to know all the understands that Utah's for real. Legit, this is a good football team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both 3-0. Texas Tech is plus 2.5. It's kind of a fishy line to me. What jumps out to you in that game? That's a noon kick, by the way.
Prove it. See what we got. these teams, my favorite pick of week 1 was Utah going to UCLA, just because I had a feeling when you're reading about UCLA, like this receiver's gone, like their good pieces were gone. But then Nico overshadowed all of it. And reading between the lines, I loved what Utah did, following this new deal that Oklahoma did. Vandy started in bringing in your offensive coordinator and then bringing the quarterback. And Dampier's a guy, like, you watch last year, it's like, what the hell's going on? And then touchdown, he's running around all over the place. So I liked him in the idea of playing in some structure, which you're going to get from Kyle Whittingham. It's going to be different, and he did something that he hasn't really done here, but I think it says a lot about both guys. So I'm in on Utah. I thought they would win the conference beforehand, but this one, I mean, you've been there, Todd, the must, that section, I call this one the must versus the money. Texas Tech's the best team money could buy, and all the Big 12 coaches pointed that out at media days. So, there's a big bullseye on Lubbock, which is cool. I haven't, been a part of a game since probably playing junior midgets. That's going to kick off at 10 a.m. I think that's because you have to start off well in this game. 10 a.m. local. So I look at Utah as being more sound. Now, Texas Tech spent a ton of money on the defensive line, and Utah's bread and butter is that offense. I mean, you see the different variations. I just wonder how they go about things. Is it going to be more quarterback run? Are they going to let guys run free and read them? Are they going to go gap scheme? More zone scheme? They have it all. You could do it all with Dampier. So I lean towards the home team. I trust Whittingham's defense and his schemes and Bo Scally more. But there's plenty. I mean, Morton is a kid, coach's son. Great story, battled an injury, but if he stays healthy, Texas Tech's got the goods, man. Because one thing that you think about is Utah's secondary is gettable, and Texas Tech's got some receivers. Can they protect? Can they protect?
Yes, can they protect? I actually watched a little tape of both these teams because I hadn't seen enough during Saturdays. Dampier's playing awesome, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the numbers, you watch 73%, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions, all the running around, all the things he's done, but he's only seven yards per attempt. And then I'm watching, I'm like, who can separate? Who's like a game break? Ryan Davis is reliable, but like fewer than 10 yards per catch. Dalen Bentley, the tight end, is second leading receiver. They just don't have dudes on the perimeter. Texas Tech, on the other hand, with Baron Morton, they've got like 5. I think, what is it? I wrote it down here. Five guys. Yeah, 5 guys with 134 receiving yards per game. More importantly, their top 3 receivers are averaging 20 or more receiving yards per game. So I don't know. The line's fishy, and you know how I am. Like I go back to Corso. Like somebody knows something, and I'm going. Like FanDuel knows something, and I'm going with the FanDuels here. Like I think Koyikin. I don't know. I like Texas Tech here, but I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical. Mitch,
no
what'd
way.
you say?
It's
no
Utah.
Way
it's Utah on that offensive line. They're going to wear out that talented. That Texas Tech front's really good, man. David Bailey out of Stanford. I don't know why anyone's leaving Stanford these days. It's such a good program. But David Bailey coming over from
we're 1-0. We're 1-0 in our last game.
That's all right. Correct.
Everybody from
But David Bailey comes
quiet.
over from Stanford. They've got Romello Height, who's on his 17th school. They've got some dudes on that defensive line. I'm not sure about the depth though. And I think that Utah, as good as that defensive line is, Utah is I think it's the best offensive line in the country. I think Utah gets downhill on their ass. I think they run some quarterback power with Dampier, create some numbers games in the running game. They're going to wear that Texas Tech front out, and I think that's going to be the difference of the game. And I think, Steve, I think you make a great point about whether or not Texas Tech can protect, because they're running 6- and 7-man protections the first 3 games of this year, and they haven't seen anything close to this pass rush. I mean, the Utah, they don't have a lot of great athletes, but John Henry Daly, that edge, he is a physical dude. He's got 5 sacks, tied for the best in the FBS. I like Utah in this game a lot. Texas Tech's a really good team, but I think Utah's they're going to be in the playoff hunt.
These are the 2 favorites now to win the conference. I mean, everybody had their feelings about what it was going to happen. I think Kansas State ended up starting the season as the favorite, and we saw them go by the wayside. I do.
Arizona State was another one that a lot of people thought.
Yeah. But Utah again, I was in love with those teams when they had it rolling with Keithy and Kincaid. They got two guys. JJ Buchanan's a true freshman. This kid is awesome. Number 81, 6'4", jumps like 40, 220, and then they got another sixth-year kid, Bentley. They could be a problem for you. The way Utah can run those. I mean, everybody's running it now. You saw the Colts do it with that insertion.
Yeah.
The insertion stuff. Why couldn't I play these days? You're running through the defense nude, man. It's not even fair for these guys.
3:30 is going to be fun. Like this is that's a nice little snack. But like you got Michigan, Nebraska, Auburn, Oklahoma, right? Michigan's 2-1, Nebraska's 3-0. I was kind of surprised that Michigan was only a 2.5 point favorite in this. And you can take it anywhere you want to go. But yeah, I mean, is Nebraska? I think they've improved. I'm kind of buying what Rule's selling. I don't know if they've arrived. I mean, they haven't arrived. But like, how far are they? Are they good enough to beat a Michigan team that, quite honestly, like, I don't think people recognize how many pro prospects are there.
Yes.
Along the defensive front, especially. I don't think people realize how good Underwood. We've heard all the hype, and we saw that first game. But like, I can see a world in which Underwood starts to absolutely soar as the season progresses. Where are you in this game?
A couple things. On the Michigan side, I actually was just watching the start of their game last week because I was there for the Oklahoma game. And, again, to you, I was like, whoa, and there's a dude.
Yeah.
And Mateer's pulling off rabbit tricks to get out of trouble. But I was more on the offensive side. And, Sharon Moore's not coaching this game. He wasn't there this week. And when you go back and watch last week I know it's Central Michigan, but their first drive is 10 plays. They throw the ball, all over the place. Boots, deep balls, comebacks, tight end overs, the first 5 plays of the game. And they end up scoring in a 10-play drive. And to me, I wonder in this spot, and knowing Biff Poggi and how much of a wild card is, where he just says, Bryce, go. Like, we're going to run you. We're going to let you throw. And where at Oklahoma, it was like, all right, we don't have our tight end. We still don't know about our receivers. We are going to hold this thing down. We're going to play defense, get Barham back in the second half, and make it a game. And they did, but that 2 scores in the first half that they went down was too much to overcome. So Michigan's, I think, super dangerous here. When I watched Nebraska, and I talked to Dana Holgerson this summer, and he was in awe of what they were asking Raiola to do last year as a true. He was just like, media and team functions and being the face and doing everything and just the onus. I mean, the kid's a true freshman. He's like, all right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to simplify some things in the offense and make it easier for you. And I think you saw that. There was some progress with him.
He threw 11 interceptions, just 13 touchdowns a year.
Yep.
You could, and as the season progressed,
it started off like you didn't know where it was going to go, though,
and it didn't go the right way.
Yeah. And now when you watch them, against Cincinnati, a lot of Dana's stuff is super creative, obviously, and he's gonna see what you want to do, and he's always got an answer. That's why he has that little freaking note card that he has. And I don't know how he see him, Cliff, all those guys, Spav. But it's with 2 tight ends, and I've never seen this before, and it was creating windows and making them it was catch and throw. And the last thing you want is a young quarterback holding on to the football, especially against a team like Michigan that could get pressure with minimal guys. So I look at Nebraska, their defense being the key here. Everybody knows Matt Rule, year 3, this is where he takes a step. But I wonder about that defense against the run because Sorsby for Cincinnati really, really was successful.
Second half of Cincinnati, man. Second half of Cincinnati is all I needed to see.
Yeah.
Sorsby was killing them on design runs, on scrambles, and what happened against Central Michigan last week with Underwood, way more decisive about taking off. And also you saw some of that quarterback power against Central Michigan too. If they do the same thing with Underwood this week, I watched that Nebraska defense second half of Cincinnati, and I just don't know how they're going to do it.
We're rolling here. I love when the one Steve to the next, everyone's worked up. You know what's kind of weird about Nebraska? this is a passing organization, if you will. Like they are relying on throwing the football. They are much more effective throwing the football than they are running the football at this point.
Not your grandfather's Nebraska, man.
And defensively, they've been much better defending the pass than they have been versus the run. If you're pro Michigan, you're looking at the fact that like they're 75th in the nation versus the run, 202 yards against Cincinnati, 113 to Akron, 93 to Houston Christian. So it's going to be interesting to see the game plan for Michigan in this. But I don't know. I think Nebraska. I think this is going to be a battle.
I'm really fine. These two 30-30 games, I think, are super interesting. And I think the way I heard it early, all the money was on Michigan. So be careful.
That's what I'm saying. I get just like a little slight lean. Like I think something's going to happen with Nebraska this week. I'm not saying win, but like this is going to be tight. All right, Auburn 22 in the country, Oklahoma 11 in the country, 3-0 each team. Auburn's plus 6.5 in this game. What jumps out to you?
You'll like this. Pre-game, Michigan, Oklahoma, and everybody's out there. Nagy's got freaking 280 recruits there. And
out of his mind.
And you know how he is. Like he leans over and like the place is rocking, right? I mean, everything's it's 80 degrees, and you know how he leans over. He's like, I think our roster's a lot better than people think. I'm like, why are you waiting until now to tell me that? I just did game day this morning. I said I picked you, but I would have liked some encouragement here.
Yes,
and that's exactly how I felt after watching them. I think the defense is real. I mean, they got as good a D tackles and in a position where you talk to any coach, you talk to scouts, you talk to coaches. In this new era, I mean, I think about Georgia and Alabama, specifically Clemson, that started this whole thing where they would just stockpile DTs and DNs. Oklahoma's as deep as anybody at defensive tackle, and that's what you want, especially in a game like this where the guy that's going to want to establish quarterback run. So to me, I get it. Mateer is awesome. I got the headbands, the whole thing. The story's great. But to me, I like Oklahoma as a team because of the defense more than him. I think Guillory at corner, I think he's a true freshman. He's a stud. I expect him on Coleman. I like the secondary. And when you saw Billy Bowman balling for the Falcons the other night, replacing guys. But, our Mason Thomas, I believe, is suspended for the first half because of targeting in the second half of the Temple game.
Yes.
That's something to keep an eye on.
He's a big-time player.
So, to me, Oklahoma wins the game because of the defense. I feel like Jackson Arnold in a crazy spot. I'm really rooting for the dude because I go back and I watch it. I've said in the offseason, I don't think Patrick Mahomes could have survived.
No,
he couldn't have been successful in Oklahoma system last year.
It was catastrophic.
It was awful.
And 5 wide receivers injured.
Like no one was going to succeed in that. And, he gets a call and he gets offered and that's what it is. So I've been a fan of his just because what he went through last year and knowing how young and brittle guys could be. But Auburn, this is a big – you talk about prove-it spots.
Yes.
Hugh Freeze and the recruiting and the off-the-field stuff. And this is – I still think that's a really good win starting the season and going to Baylor. And they did it because Jackson – they said we are not letting the receivers
– you don't fuck with Sawyer Robertson, man.
No, that's hey, I got him number one. No qualms from me. But no,
Auburn's got weapons though. I totally agree with you on Oklahoma's defense. What I'm really intrigued to see, and Jackson Arnold is making progressions. I don't know if he's there yet against this defense, but he's got dudes, man.
Yeah,
like Cam Coleman's 6'3", Fields, the number 3 receiver, 6'2", Horatio Fields. Eric Singleton is
I like Singleton the best.
He's like an Olympic track star and he can play ball.
Yeah.
Like part of me is like, I keep going back. Like, could this turn into a little, not a shootout, but like a little higher score because it's some big play and then Jackson Arnold with his legs on top. Could this be a little bit higher scoring than we expect because Oklahoma's defenses look so good? Auburn's pass defense though worries me. And they got 4 returning starters from that secondary a year ago.
And tackling.
And they got 2 guys from G5, from Group of 5. They got 2 more DBs who are like stars of the G5 level. That was supposed to be a strength. And you get Keldrick Falk and the boys up front. but they've not been able to cover. I was looking at it, 419 against Sawyer, which, everyone's going to give up 400 plus against my man. But USA, South Alabama, I know I'm joking, but Bishop
Major
to
Applewhite.
a certain, but Bishop Davenport at one point was 15 of 18 against that secondary until they finally got pressure to him. So that's those are the things that can Oklahoma's defense remain solid in coverage against those receivers with a mobile quarterback. So now we've got more responsibility than just matching up one-on-one. And then on the other side, Auburn's defense in the secondary, can they plug the dam a little bit because it has not looked pretty in the first couple games?
Yeah, Mitch, I'm curious of what you saw. I don't know. Did you watch Fasusi against Michigan, the true tackle? He didn't play last week against Temple.
Is he playing this week?
That's what I'm waiting on. I think
me too.
From what I saw, and I mean, you hear Beanbaugh talk, and who's as trusted as anybody. Like going into the season, he was talking about I never had a freshman like this, and then I see him in person. I'm like, holy shit!
What's the
what was that like?
And just raw. Like he's raw, but he can move. He's good with his hands. His balance looked good. He didn't play too high. And you're going against Michigan. Yeah. And I thought he held his, it wasn't pretty at all, but your first start, you're going against Michigan in a got to have a game with a program that's trying to take that next step. I thought he was good. I thought the right tackle hanging, they're only going to get better. And then, but with that, on the other side, talking to Baylor's people for that first game at Auburn, they were really worried about Falk. They thought the world of him. And I don't know how twitchy he is, but when he wants to get after the pat, he could ruin this whole game. I'll say that. But I think Oklahoma knows that and will have a plan. So I like Oklahoma in this matchup because of the totality.
6.5 even. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Really quickly, I like Oklahoma too, but one of the ways that Auburn wins this game is that their pass rush. Those Oklahoma offensive tackles I like a lot, and I hope that Fasusi plays because they're different with him in the lineup. And the other guy's Derek Simmons, I think, right?
Simmons.
Derek Simmons on the other side, right tackle. He moves really well, but Auburn's power, man. It's not you can be finesse with those sets. And they will run right through your face if you let them. So I like Simmons as an athlete. One of the issues I had is can he sit? Can he anchor?
Yep.
That's something to keep an eye on in this game. I still like Oklahoma, but that's one edge Auburn potentially has.
Stanford Steve.
Yeah.
I gotta differentiate between the two. What's your record now on game day picking games?
Freaking 4-hour weather delay crushed us with the USC over. We're 1-2 last week. 5-4, I think. We were 4-2.
We get the FanDuel featured picks every week.
Yeah.
I'm 3-2. I was 3-1 going into last week, and I was banking on Mensa and Duke against Tulane.
Don't mess with my man Summerall.
We're going to get back on track. I'll get a sneaky one for you, and then I'm going to give you a four-leg parlay because this is important. We get the FanDuel featured picks every week, right? Yeah. Mensch, first of all, who's your pick of the week?
I can't believe I'm doing it. I'm going back to the well. I'm taking Michigan. I like Michigan in that game. I just like Michigan in the game. I had Michigan beating Oklahoma. That didn't work out well for me. I've been on a little bit of a cold streak after taking the under in the Kansas State and Iowa State game, barely getting it. I don't think I've hit anything since, but I'm taking Michigan.
All right, so Michigan minus 2.5. Okay. My pick of the week is SMU. SMU against TCU.
The over?
No. The game. I love Hoover. I love Hoover.
I like Hoover a lot.
I think Jennings. I think SM. Lashley's not going to let this happen. I think that they bounce back, and I think they surprise me. Plus, everyone in the world is on TCU. They saw them against North Carolina, and everyone's I love Hoover. SMU is going to reestablish itself this week.
You're not believing it, okay?
And then this 4-leg parlay. Get your pen ready, Mr. Spider over there with his new hoodie on.
Let's go.
I love how he gets better gear than us, Mensch.
Yeah, that's nice.
Write this down because you're going to want to put this in FanDuel, right? Get your app out. Alt line on all 4 picks.
You love the alt line.
Well, you got to maneuver. This is plus 500 if we come in this 4-leg parlay. I feel it. I don't want it on bad beats this week. I want it on beats. Auburn plus 10.5. I love Oklahoma. I'm the biggest Mateer guy in the entire world. Bigger than Nagy, bigger than Mateer's parents. But I like Auburn in this spot, plus 10.5. Indiana, I moved to 2.5. We'll get to that game in a second against Illinois.
Yes.
Only minus 2.5. I knew you'd kind of like that. Florida plus 10.5. We'll get to that game in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
With that spread, we'll talk about it. And then SMU plus 10.5 in that alt line. So that's it. FanDuel, get your app. I'm telling you, I picked 3 out of 4 2 weeks ago. Steve, I picked 3 out of 4.
You could start you'll guarantee you'll have a streak of doing that this year.
And then last week I was 2 for 2. All right,
hey, blame me.
Prime time.
Yeah.
Let's save your game for last. Let's go Illinois at Indiana. Illinois is ranked 9th in the country. Indiana's 19. Illinois is actually plus 5.5 in this game. Where are you going with this?
It's hard because when you look at Illinois, I do take some stuff from the Duke game. I thought, when you watch Illinois, it seems right now it's pretty methodical. I still
that's
think
the best opponent that either of these schools has played.
Exactly. That's the one
by far.
The one thing I have substance on. I'll get to Indiana. But when you watch Illinois, I like their skill guys. They're shifty. They do a lot of different stuff. They'll run, the screen and goes where you're faking like you're blocking and running up a seam. They do it across the middle of the field. They do it down the sideline. They got a good mix of backs. They got a big guy in was it Fabian, I believe, and then McFarland, I believe, is the little scat guy. And Altmaier's been good. It's crazy when you look at the quarterback's numbers in this game, Altmaier versus Mendoza, they're identical. Both have the 22 incompletions. They're both right at 706 yards, and one has 9 touchdowns and one has 8. So with Illinois, I worry about the way they've started. And then when you watch that Duke game.
Yes, that was a big thing to me.
The Duke game, Duke outgained them. But they had 5 turnovers. And then Illinois turned those into points. And you saw, I believe it was 14-13. And then they win 41-19 or 43-19. So they capitalized on it. They come back last week against Western Michigan. Again, kind of sluggish to start and then get it rolling. On the other side, I have no idea with Indiana. When I watch them and I watch their good is better than it was last year.
Yeah, I agree.
It is.
I actually agree.
The offensive line, I don't know what's going on there. 67 didn't start last week, but he started game 1, and then he comes in the second half. I loved Hemby when he was at Maryland. He's a guy that could go get it. The receivers are legit. I really like the additions at tight end. 37's from Wisconsin. Stays, who was at Notre Dame, and then Tennessee. He's more of a receiver, but he stuck his face in there on those leads and stuff. And I like Mendoza as an upgrade at quarterback. So I look at the balance of Indiana's defense, and I trust their offensive line more than Illinois doesn't have a typical Bielema. I thought that I would see more from their tight ends blocking, not much, and their O-line seemed consistent. A couple transfer tackles, I believe they have. It's getting to the point. I think it started open at 3.5. Now it's up to 5.5. I still would take Indiana. I feel like they've got this thing cranked up. The one thing I'm disappointed in is I thought this would be starting Sunday or Monday. We were going to have a coach's war of words with Bielema and Sig. I thought they were going to just start firing at each other, and both guys have held. I'm shocked.
I know.
We haven't gotten anything. I thought that was
here's how this would have to work, though, just so people understand their characters. It would have to start with Sig popping off.
Yes.
In a place where he did, and maybe it's coming on Friday, because the work's kind of done. Hayes in the barn, so it may still be coming on Friday.
Okay.
But Bielema is just like Sig's incapable of if it's in his head and it's just going to come out.
Yeah.
Bielema's incapable of not responding, retaliating. Correct. He's a reactionary, get in trouble. Sig's a shit starter. So
Bielema's got the response already in the drafts. He's just waiting to hit.
Yes. Mensch, what do you got on this?
I want to hear it from you because this is. Okay. I think this is going to be typical from you too. I want to hear what you have.
It is going to be typical from me.
It is.
I promise you, because I look Illinois is slightly more battle tested. I worry about as I wrote down, like the Western Illinois, Duke, Western Michigan, they did not like the slow starts. And I don't think on the road, and believe it or not, like this is a place that's like sneaky good home field advantage. Now
it was
rolling,
awesome last year.
right?
When we went. Awesome.
That can be a problem.
Night game.
Exactly. So here's the difference that I saw when I was just looking at a little bit of it yesterday. The wide receivers for Indiana are actually legit. Like Surratt is a bona fide NFL prospect, could be a day 2 pick. He's 6'3", leads the team 6'2", 215, leads the team with 15 catches. The big story, man, I didn't know a ton about, but Omar Cooper.
Yeah. Monster.
21 yards per catch, 7 touchdowns last year, right? This year, but he only had like 28 catches last year. So you saw the big flashes, but this year, 3 games, he's got 13 catches already, almost half the number of catches through 3 games. Still, he's averaging more yards, 23 yards per catch, 4 of those 13 for touchdowns. And then you got E.J. Williams. Remember him at Clemson?
Yeah.
He went witness protection, transferred to IU. He had 2 catches last year, and now he's a 6th-year player, and he's breaking out. So, like, you got 3 veteran receivers with Mendoza, the run element that he brings to that offense that was already really good last year. You got a junior, a senior, a 6-year guy. You got 6 foot, 6'2", 6'3". I don't think Illinois has the secondary that it had, when you think back to Witherspoon. So that to me is the matchup to keep an eye on. And they've got a 3-headed monster with guys who are averaging between 5.5 and 7.7 yards per carry. So this is going to be interesting.
Really quickly, Cooper Jr. had 10 of those catches last week, but he's a dude. He's inconsistent, but he's an absolute dude. Also, Mendoza in the only game that's mattered, and really that whole passing attack was Old Dominion, and they did not look good. He was a sub 60% completion percentage, and he was missing throws. Guys were dropping passes, all of that. But you two are unbelievable, because in the preseason, I said I was going through all the games that I thought Indiana was going to win this year, and I rattle off Illinois, and here comes Stanford Steve from the top rope sending me a text of, "Oh, Muench, pretty confident in that Indiana team, huh? Really think they're going to just handle Illinois? I don't know about that one, Muench." And here we're game week. And all of a sudden, we're all Hoosiers.
I give you credit from being ahead of the curve. That's what I'm doing.
That's what I want, my credit. That's all. That's the only thing I'm saying is I want credit.
I was going to say, I forgot to preface it by saying Muench has had this game marked since June.
He has. And you know what? Like, it turns out it's not an elimination game, but it might be an elimination game.
It could be.
I don't see the I've loved coming into this season, but I knew it was going to take a while because these Big Ten teams, haven't forged themselves and playing big out-of-conference games. But who's going to be that 4th Big Ten team? Like USC, Washington, Iowa. Iowa took a hit early, but like Illinois and Indiana, they're right there.
How about Washington?
I don't see you making the playoff if you lose this game. Knowing, like, in Indiana's sake, you gotta go to Iowa after this. With a hungry team, and you know what happens at Kinnick. I think that's going to be a night game. Illinois hosts Ohio State in a couple weeks. Washington gets Ohio State next week. USC comes to Illinois in a couple weeks. Like, it's really, really compelling stuff. And this is a monster, along with Michigan and Nebraska. It's the same deal. Like, you're going to struggle. Because not everybody play each other, but plenty of teams get their shots at the Big 3 in Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State.
And these are all awesome games, but for some reason, man, I am most excited about where you're going to be, South Florida, and not because I want to stay on South Beach and spend a couple extra days in the back end, but because Florida is now 1-2, backs against the wall, and played like it at 21 of 22 starting positions last week. Outrushed, I think it was LSU. Offense LSU.
Yep.
Had significantly more first downs. Out time of possession them. But their quarterback threw 5 interceptions. And they had holding penalties in the most inopportune times you could ever imagine. So with that as the backdrop, you got Miami 3-0. They're rolling. South Beach. Beck's down there. You've got his Lamborghini's back. He's rolling. He's got Malachi Tony that we all knew was supposed to be good, but he's an absolute star. And you got a mentality that feels like it's the right mentality for Miami. Not like this fake they're back, the U is back and all this shit, but like they actually feel like this team has the right psyche. But Florida is a wounded, rabid animal. What do you got?
I'm with you with Florida. I feel the same way. I can't wait to see it. I mean, this game, and it's not for Miami, Florida State, but still, it's at that level of all these dudes know each other.
Yes,
all these dudes knew where each other was going, and they had in the back of their mind, hey, if so-and-so goes there, like that might flip me. Like it is real stuff. And that's what's awesome. You'll see there's going to be some extracurriculars. There's going to be some flags. Put a freaking
there was last week before LSU.
Yeah. Put a wall up at the 50 pregame. Like don't even let it happen. On the Florida side, I really was interested to see them last week, knowing how bad and seeing – I go back to that last drive against USF, and I really think Lagway changed that play to an RPO pass. Like you just look, and you're like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And it caught. I mean, that along with 8 other things cost them the game. It was a domino effect that kept happening, and USF, give credit USF for pulling it out. And then they come back the following week in the best environment there is in the sport, in my opinion. And they get another touchdown called back because of a penalty.
Like 87-yard touchdown or 83-yard, whatever it was.
Would have been up 10.
87. It would have been 10-0 after the first quarter.
Yep.
So then you go in, and then the turnovers start happening. But then, they get Banks back on the D-line, 88. They wore out. And now LSU's offensive line is a work in progress. I get it. But in that spot, we're in a gotta-have-it game, and Florida's defense just kept coming back. All right, we'll limit them here. We'll limit them here. Another pick. We'll limit them here. That showed me a lot, man. It showed me that the team is bought in. And in the back of my mind, that going into that game, I didn't have the guts to take Florida. I thought they would cover. But in the good that was last year in Lagway's run, 6-0 in games he started, he never started an SEC road game.
No.
And you saw it. You saw it, Todd. You know it.
It was overwhelming.
Mitch, I don't know if you've been there. When that swoon happens there, it just keeps going. And then to see Baker just get in his bag with the options that he has defensively, even down 2 weeks, guys.
It's like I was telling Mitch, I went back and watched that tape. It's like the old UNLV amoeba defense. Like I was like, I don't know, because it was tight copy, right? Watching from the end zone behind Lagway, and I'm watching like, I don't have a fucking clue if Seven's coming off the edge, if he's covering, if he's gonna blitz the A gap, the B gap, or if he's coming I don't know. And they've got it looks like 7 safeties back there. Yep. And the Weeks brothers are absolute lunatics. And they'll come off the edge, they'll blitz, but they'll sometimes there's just 2 guys with their hands in the dirt, and you just didn't know what was happening. And so I think it'll be more traditional what they'll see from Miami. But it's still going to be an absolute test.
Yeah. Heatherman, I think, has been a genius coming to Miami. I think Mario's done a great.
I love that.
Just watch them. It's not crazy guys moving around. It's simple. They're matching personnel, how many are in the box, whatever. But let me tell you, they got some dogs. This 31 Basaint linebacker.
Yes, he's an NFL. I talked to a scout actually maybe 2 weeks ago. I didn't realize how high some teams are on this guy. He might be like a day 2 pick.
The wood.
Yes.
And what I asked Coach Saban to do, I just wanted to do a physicality tape on Miami. You put on the first half of the USF game. Baines wrong arming and putting tackles, tight ends, pullers, whoever it is, to the ground. Mesidor's doing the same exact thing. This Basaint, lead backs coming up. When you watch the sideline and you see that blocker's head, you're getting jolted.
Yes.
But again, it's just destruction, and its body's on the ground, and Byron Brown's doing his best amidst chaos. And I'm like, they're giving themselves up. Like, this is a little bit of sacrifice in here for the better of the defense, and that's what I think makes the great defenses great. I have been so hesitant to jump on the U is back train. For 20 years, I've never jumped in. Last year, I thought they would make the playoff with Cam Ward. I loved them that much, and they just missed. I'm in.
Yes.
I think they should be the top ranked team in the country. The speed and physicality on the defensive side. Now, on the other side, you said you got a wounded animal coming in, and probably the most underachieving group I've seen amongst groups. Love to get your take on Florida's offensive line. I mean, they were in the top 5 everywhere this pre-Slaughter. I do like the tackle. That's going to be an awesome matchup.
Barber,
68.
Awesome Barber.
Yeah, Barber against those ends. I don't know what they're going to do there. But in Napier's offense, when he's been successful, it's all play action to open throws. And what we haven't seen is them run like ball. I think is awesome, but I think 10 for 37, 10 for 40 last week.
It drove me nuts in the USF. They gave him 6 carries on the first drive. He only had 12 the rest of the game.
They have to run the football.
They've got to stay committed to ball.
He's so good.
Game.
Yeah. So you're going to get Florida's best. They're still in there, and I give Napier a lot of credit when everybody wants to bag on him. His team is still locked in after watching what
they won't quit on him. I know that much.
He had an awesome quote this week where he said, I forgot how he phrased it, but he's like, they say the sign of a beaten man is when he starts making excuses, and I'm not making excuses.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really good stuff. I can't wait to go. I obviously wish Florida was undefeated to really see how this stadium. I expect the U to show out, but Saturday night, man, in Miami, it's on because, like I said, this is big boy. This is state championship stuff, and there's plenty of pride when that happens. Fired up to be there for this one.
Let me say this, and I know you got to run. The second I saw Heatherman and what he's about. And what with the athletes and the skill guys and the South Florida recruiting, I was like, this is exactly what they need. You ready for this? He coached in Austria, Germany, Fitchburg State. He's from Western, like Oxford, Mass, right? He coached at Old Dominion. He coached at JMU. He coached at Maine and Rutgers and Minnesota. Like,
lifer.
To get a lifer, but also like at those programs.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we don't have the talent, but we're going to beat your ass up. We're going to play with discipline and toughness and physicality, and we're going to wear you down. We're going to do all the things that those programs do to stay better than their talent level, wins and losses wise. And now he brings it to Miami with those guys. It's been fun to watch. I don't know. I like Florida in this one.
Huh.
Against the spread, not to win it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you give me 7.5. I just want it on the record for Stanford Steve. All right. I know you got to get out of here. We appreciate you, man. Love you. Safe travels. We will. We'll talk to you soon. We'll get caught up.
Anytime you guys want.
Don't forget that 4-leg parlay. This is the week.
I got it written down. I'm impressed with 3 underdogs in it too. Appreciate you guys listening to your stuff all the time. You guys are killing it. Love the breakdowns. Nobody's better than you guys. Keep it up.
All right, appreciate it, brother. All right, we'll see you. He's the best, man.
Awesome.
How about Stanford Steve, that son of a bitch, showing up with the Richmond shirt on? He didn't even tell the story why he was wearing it. The bad beats segment. I know that got you all fired up.
Oh, it's brutal. I mean, Richmond's down, I think 46-3 in the game.
Yeah.
And we kicked a field goal at the end to cover the spread, man. I can't tell you. That's embarrassing. That's soft. It's so soft. Finally, Richmond's in the bad beats. You want it to be like a backdoor cover where they make some kind of crazy play and they get a touchdown late where it's going to happen. No, it's because we kicked a goddamn field goal.
Yeah, it was kind of a weak moment, but hey, it is what it is. All right, this is a fun show, man. I will. Saturday night. We just talked about the 2 primetime games. You got Indiana, like that's going to be a scene there in Bloomington. Illinois, Indiana, almost an elimination game, week 4, and obviously Florida, Miami. We're going to break into those games early. I'll let you know on social media. Follow Muench if you don't. It's you good Muench, at you good Muench, and I'm at McShay 13. We'll keep you posted on Saturday, but come join us. Get it on the big screen. Get us on your phones, however you want to do it. But it's honestly, I think it's the most fun. Like, 20, 30 minutes of our entire week, at least work-wise, watching the end of the games. And then we recap all of them. So come join us on Saturday night, the YouTube channel, the McShay Show, and then you can listen to it after the fact, Spotify and Apple and wherever else you get your podcast. So we'll see you Saturday night. Don't forget the McShay Report. Google it. Get the Arch Manning whole story and breakdown out right now. 5 stars, Mitch. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.